We see your former captain equaling the world record at the weekend. I just wondered if you could maybe give me just a few thoughts on what you've seen of Alan Wynne and maybe what you thought about him before you came across the bridge.
Well, obviously, the thing that stands out above all else is the iconic leadership and, leading by example, and that was the impression that I had. And even in my early conversations over Zoom, that was cemented even further about how much he cares about this organisation and the area and his people. And that manifests itself again when you see him pull on the red jersey. So from that point of view, he does, to quote a well-known manufacturer, he does exactly what he says on the tin. So from that point of view, he epitomised all of those things. But he's got a playful and a character side when you work with him on a daily basis that's very engaging and enduring. And I think if you put all those things together and the stuff that he does outside of rugby and the way he conveys himself, when you do those things consistently for such a long period of time, and in a variety of ways, you get recognised by the Queen, and that's nothing to be underestimated. You don't get those by accident.
Toby, in terms of Glasgow, what do you envisage as being the key threats from them? Obviously, like we touched on, both sides are missing players through internationals. So do you think it's a bit more difficult to gauge where they're going to be strong?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm new into this role, and this is the start of the journey that I'd spoken about previously. So I'm more obviously focused on what we need to do and what we want to do first and foremost. The other thing is I know Danny Wilson very well, and we have compared notes in various guises at various times and supported each other in different areas. So Danny produces good teams, very good set piece teams. So we know that they're going to be very set piece competent, and that's the first challenge. The first challenge, it starts and finishes up front. And if you can do that well, you're going to be in the contest. And if you don't do it consistently, as you saw against Ulster, it becomes a much more difficult contest. So, yeah, that's outside of that, the rest is just rugby, as they say.
And again, with the fact that a number of players are on international duty, does it provide an opportunity for those fringe players to sort of get themselves more involved in your thinking going forward? Because if they're going to go a couple of performances for you, it's going to give you a headache. And is that something ultimately as a coach you'd want? Oh,
I'd take a migraine if that was the opportunity that you get every week, not just a headache. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a chance for people to put credit in the bank. It's a chance for people to to stake a claim. It's actually a chance for them to show how good they actually are. And that's, part of what we want here. And ultimately, you then get a very clear picture of what they're doing and where they are, and then we can help support them and improve them as players. So, yeah, it's a multi-layered thing, but you're absolutely right. It's an opportunity. And I suppose the thing that I'd probably add into that is, we're driving an element of when you put an Osprey shirt on, that it requires a certain price of entry, and I've spoken about the effort. I've spoken about the necessity to prepare well and to show, those levels of preparations and effort, in very extreme environments and situations, and ultimately that's when you know what team you've got.